Hi guys, welcome to my podcast Love.Heal.Repeat, or if you're new, welcome to my podcast Love.Heal.Repeat. I yap a lot about a lot of random things, mostly related to the spiritual, and a lot of it is just me channeling, and by channeling I don't mean like summoning some spirit, I just mean like recording this video and just whatever comes out and is meant to come out. So, with that being said, I still think about, like, before I start each episode, I'm like, what's the topic? Like, what am I supposed to talk about? Because I don't worry. I need to find a better word for worry. I guess concern's not it either. I just think about how boring it is if I just start talking on here and I don't have a place at which I'm going. Like when Michael Scott from The Office says, sometimes I just open my mouth and I keep going until I form a sentence. Like, that's not a direct quote, but it's basically what he says. 111 on the timer. But this week, I thought about it this morning. There's so many flies around me right now. And I had a really interesting dream last night, and I was like, I know that this is important to talk about because it was so clearly a message to me. How do I translate it? And then I was reading my book and some other things popped up, and then just bits of little topics. So I wrote them all down so I wouldn't forget them. And more importantly, I wrote them down in my journal, which I am so excited to look back on in like 30 years and see how much I've grown, what my past perspectives were, what my beliefs were, how I was feeling emotionally, and just like my life and what I was doing and my hobbies. What are you eating, Kate? And yeah, I'm really excited to just see myself grow and my evolution in a many of years. So if you don't journal, I highly recommend journaling, and let this be your sign. Freaking flies, man. Let this be your sign. So I started meditating this week. Okay, here's what you need to know. Last week, I binge watched almost all the Star Wars episodes, aside from the first three, because I don't like the first three, because I don't like Anakin and Padme's love story, because I think he's obsessive and it's like borderline gross and a little like creepy, and also the age difference is also whack. But anyways, I had a day off of work and I crocheted the entire day. And when I crochet, I have music or I have TV in the background. Mostly it's TV. And so I binged 4 Star Wars movies in one day, which are all like 2 hours each. And that, to me, I was like, this is crazy. That's a lot of screen time. And granted, I wasn't watching it the whole time, but it was still there. And it was still some like technical stimulation to my brain, which I wanted to cut back on. And so I also have been having a lot of sugar lately, and I really believe like sugar is poison, like processed sugar is actual poison and probably causes cancer. And so I want to cut back on it. And I noticed I was having a lot of it, and I was like, this is not great. And also, my perspective is that if you believe something will happen or can happen, it can/will happen. And so if I believe that sugar is the real poison, the more I eat the sugar, the more likely I am to become poisoned, because that's how my brain has processed this food, or has assumed it. You're silly. She's got a lizard. It's a baby. So I don't need that to be me in a couple of years. So I was like, I need to detox. This is ridiculous. I watched one movie last week. I started Monday. Today's Sunday. Yesterday was my first day of actually watching TV openly, aside from Monday when I watched the Minecraft movie, which was actually, it was stupid, but it was good stupid. Really dumb, but it was funny. And it was great for the Minecraft community, and I grew up playing Minecraft, and I love Minecraft, so I was like, oh wow, that's so cool to see that, and like the whatever the mansion is called, I don't remember, and like the Enderman and all that, so it was cool. And I meditated every night right before bed for 15 minutes, and I started having not weird dreams, but dreams where when I woke up in the morning, I was conscious of myself waking up to this reality and being like, okay, you have to jump out of this dream now and come into this reality, and like you have to adjust to the fact that this is your life. And that was kind of a weird trip for me, and I wonder if it's a sign, and I don't know if that's a result of meditating or just meditating at night before bed, but I found that really interesting, and I'm sure it's gonna strengthen my relationship with shifting realities, and not just energetically shifting, but like physically shifting, like shifting in the sense of reality shifting that I've talked about here since I've started this podcast. That type of reality shifting, not just like changing little things in your reality, but like shifting your reality to the point where if you want to go to Hogwarts, you can go to Hogwarts. Okay. So found that really interesting. Meditating, I was focusing on, the first time I meditated, I was in my grass, and grass, when it's cut, or maybe when it's not cut, maybe it's just grass in general, but I think when it's cut, it is like sharper, and they're like your skin is being cut on a micro level that like stings, and it's like a searing, I guess it's just like a sting. And so I was literally, my legs and feet were being stung essentially, and for 15 minutes I sat like that, and I was so intent on pushing that pain out of my mind and separating my mind from my body, because I wanted to work on consistency, number one, and number two, like, you have to push through sometimes. Like, it's like I wanted to test I'm just gonna let myself get bit at this point. I wanted to test my ability to concentrate on one thing and to not let outside factors deter me from that thing. Actually, that's kind of crap out of my ass. That's not true. My second meditation, I was focused on keeping my attention on one thing, like counting back from 100 to 0 and not letting your mind wander. Oh, 2 bug bites, man, right there. But it is what it is, bro. They're latched on. What's the point of killing them? You know, they get their blood, maybe they go away. If not, they leave another bite, but there's not a lot, so I might as well just let them feed. Does anyone think like me? Also, oh, look at your little red tummy with my blood. Do you guys remember when that virus was going around on mosquitoes? And I don't think it was in my state, or actually, that might be dumb. I don't even know what it was, but I guess it was preventing one's ability to become pregnant. I don't know what that's called. Is it infidelity, or is infidelity cheating? I don't remember. But anyways, I don't know. Whatever. So I was just focused on like pushing the pain out and just staying committed to just like, I'm not going to let this get to me. And when I was laying out today, getting some sun, as one does, I was touching metal on my beach chair. You're going back for more, Broseph? On my beach chair, and it was like stinging and searing my skin, but not in like a burning way where it's like actually damaging to my skin, although maybe it is, because that's why it's hot and that's why it stings, but on like a micro level. But I pushed through it, and I didn't let that get to me, which I think can be powerful. Hopefully I never have to use that. But anyways, that's just something I thought I'd share. So yeah, I've been meditating. I had that crazy dream. Speaking of crazy dreams, last night I woke up at 5:29 in the morning, and I'm not going to scratch my arm. I woke up at 5:29 a.m. and I had a weird dream about duality, and I remember waking up, and it was almost like I was looking at our universe and like our earth from... It wasn't even our earth though. Like I wasn't looking at a planet. It was kind of just... It was like a sphere of blackness, and it was also light. And I just remember waking up or realizing in my dream and being like, and saying, life is light. And I woke up and I was like, you know what? That's important. I want to remember that in the morning. It's probably something cool to talk about in my podcast as well. So I wrote it down, and I woke up this morning and here I am. Life is light. And I've been thinking a lot about duality and how, and also like darkness in the sense of nothingness and nothing, no thing, the unmanifested, which I think I talked about in my last video, and maybe the video prior to that. I need to not scratch my arms right now. I thought it was important to mention, and maybe it's a message for someone who needs to hear it. Maybe this is inspiration for a creative. Go paint something, go create something. Life is light, or light is life. Light is life. And maybe vice versa. So, detox, dreams, life is light. Oh, I've also been seeing 1010 a lot. And this past moon, it was a Scorpio full moon. And I'm not scratching my arm, I'm just rubbing it. And you guys are holding me accountable. And 1010, I haven't seen it in a while, honestly. Like, it was definitely my self journey number, and it was a lot about closing out cycles, obviously, as 1010 is. And I haven't seen it for like a couple of years. Like maybe like 2 years. And so I'm like, what cycle was I closing out? And also with my full moon newsletter, it said you were closing out something, but I wasn't sure what. But at the time of the newsletter, which was last week, I was thinking about resentment, and how resentment is due to the lack of communication and just allowing things to fester, and resentment can ruin a lot of beautiful things. And I didn't want it to ruin certain things for me, so I communicated, and I'm very proud of myself and happy that I communicated, and life's great. So situation resolved, life's beautiful, and I'm happy. And I started dancing ballet again, which I think I've mentioned on here. And I had a class last couple days ago. That was literally yesterday. I had a class yesterday in the AM, and it was incredible. I leave the class feeling so like efficient and grateful and just happy and like, wow, like this feels amazing. Like physically, ballet is so unnatural, but also physically, you're like, hell yeah. And so I get home, I take a cold shower after I'm sweating my ass off, and I'm like grateful. And every morning the sun hits my outside shower in the way where I see a double rainbow. And it's so beautiful. And I'm like, look how much bliss is in my life. And I'm sitting outside and I'm reading and I'm listening to the birds, and I so badly like wish I could sleep outside, because this is what we need to be hearing. Like we shouldn't have, and this is why I wanted to detox from like music and TV. As much as I love music, and I think music is super powerful and a great tool for empowering our spirits and uplifting our feelings, empowering our feelings and uplifting our spirits, which I'm going to talk about with emotions in a second, and also with dance. But I'm like, this is the sounds of nature. This is what's going to heal our anxieties. And we need to get in touch with nature. We need to tap the fuck back in, because what are we doing? Everyone's on their phone 24/7. Getting off social media was like the best thing, honestly. I still have it. I still go on to check my DMs, which half the time I don't even. It's really just on my second account, because there's one person that I want updates on that I can't see anywhere else. Anyways, and so yeah, like it's been great without it. But I noticed I was substituting the time that I would spend on Instagram and TikTok on YouTube Shorts. And that's no better, because I'm still on my phone scrolling, and like it's still like you're still spending the same amount of screen time. You're still kind of like ruining your brain in the sense, like, get off. So I was like, I need to limit this down. I need to stop watching shorts, break it off, because I want to connect. I am so much more productive. I was so productive this week. I'm so proud of myself, which is also a thing. When you are going to detach from social media, and not just social media, but like technology. No, I guess it's social media, because I still use my computer for work. But aside from that, and like occasional music, if you want to like feel good, and it's just like a song that's been playing in your head, you can still play songs in your head without the actual music. Like, you know the lyrics of the song. You know what I mean? Like, isn't our brain so crazy? And that just made me think about, actually, I'm not going to go off into that, because that is too long and I'm going to forget my train of thought and where I want to go with this. Dancing is so great, because you're moving your body, and I think it's really great for anyone with anxiety as well, because you're moving the stored emotions in your body, and you can help bring them up and release them through I think dance is so powerful, and it's so beautiful, and it's something that's like, it's almost contagious. Like, when people are dancing, you just dance too. When there's a good song on, you dance. Which there's something wrong with humans now. Everyone, and maybe it is a phone usage thing, no one dances anymore. Like, I went to an outside, like, club, not actually a club, but like a dance music thing, and like, out of probably, I can't gauge numbers, I'm gonna say like 100 people, maybe 150 people. I really don't even know what that looks like, but let's say out of like 150 people, maybe only 10 or 9 were dancing, like actually dancing to the beat and all this. And I was like, yeah, like pop, like amazing. And I mean, like, actually feeling the beat and dancing, not just like twerking, you know what I mean? Like real flow type of dance, that vibe. And I was like, yes, this is what we need. We need more creatives. We need more people who dance. And I saw a video of this new place that just opened up, and it's kind of like a clubby bar type of vibe. And there's a dance floor and like a disco ball and lights and cool music and great stuff. And no one was dancing. I'm like, why are you here? And I would always think about that when I would go to my homecomings. No one fucking danced. They all just kind of stood on the dance floor and like just moved a little bit. I'm like, why are you not dancing? Like, what's wrong with people? Honestly, why tell me, why does no one dance anymore? Dance is so powerful, and it's so beautiful, and it's amazing, and it feels so good to dance. Why does nobody dance? Like, you're boring. Leave it alone. Ha! You got away. Mimi. Mimi. Drop it. Drop it. So, moral of the story, dance. You know, it can really save you. Last thing I wanted to talk about was feeling, which also goes into dance. In the book that I'm reading, a quote was, "The people who are the happiest are the ones who learn best how to feel." And that kind of struck me at first with the rest of the passage, because I was like, what does that mean? And then they said something about empathy, which I also didn't understand, but I think I will in time. And I would consider myself an empath, because whenever I watch like a humanitarian film, not even a humanitarian film, a film where like groups of people join together and they really have this like purposeful, not like uprising, but like this passion, I like tear up. I'm like, that is so beautiful, and we need that. And so I almost feel like that's connected to my purpose in some way, because it does get me so emotional, and like, yeah, like that's what we need in this lifetime. So in that sense, I would consider myself an empath, but in the sense of people who are across the globe in more devastating conditions, it's more like sympathy. Like, yes, I have sympathy for you, and yes, that's horrible, but I'm not feeling your pain. Do you know what I mean? Whereas with my loved ones, I will feel the pain. And I do think, like, being an empath, this is something that I've thought of personally, that I think maybe, like, something important is that I think empaths can feel someone else's pain and take away part of it from someone else and make it more bearable for them to heal from. And I think that's so heavy and powerful and beautiful as I'm beginning to tear up. Like, that is such an insane superpower. And if you are an empath, you are fucking incredible, and it is absolutely a gift, and it's a superpower, and you should honor it and learn how to work with it rather than working against it. But also know that being an empath, it's so easy to let these feelings overcome you. You also have to understand with you when you're ready to feel an emotion, and like when it's something passing, or also you don't want them to control you and consume you. You know, you don't want these emotions from other people to dictate your entire life. And like, maybe that's why you avoid social gatherings, because it's too much energy and it's like way too much going on. I think at that point, I'm not saying go to social gatherings, but I'm just saying learn to work with it in a way where it's not debilitating. Also, on this plant that I'm looking at, there's an H cut out in the leaf, and I think that's a sign for something. I saw it a couple days ago, and I just think it's interesting. So this is also a sign. This video, whatever you need it for, this is a sign. Do the right thing is what I'm getting. So feeling, again, so powerful. And dance could be a portal for that. It could help with that. And yeah, just journal. Was there anything else I wanted to say before I close this up? Oh, about feeling, you can control how you feel. And how my foot fell asleep. How I first interpreted that quote from my book, "The people who know best how to feel are the happiest people are the ones who know how best to feel." The first way I interpreted that was, this is a long video and I apologize, but there's a lot of good information in here. The way that I interpreted it was that we can the people who actively choose to feel good are obviously the happiest, but also, like, it takes another quote that the book, or what, in the rest of the passage, it says it takes effort, and it really does take so much willpower to feel something. And it's easy to respond to something by feeling, but to create that feeling out of thin air is very hard, but it is possible. And I think we need to realize that and accept that and know that you are responsible for how you're feeling, and you can absolutely make yourself smile and laugh and feel happiness right now in this moment, despite whatever else your brain is telling you. If I fake laugh right now so I real laugh, I'm going to real laugh, and I'm going to laugh about me fake laughing, and then I'm going to laugh about me laughing, just because the sound of my laugh is contagious and fun, and I love it, and I love to laugh. Like, this is life, and it's beautiful, and how blessed we are to live here. And this is the message, okay? Light is life, and life is light, and dance is beautiful, and dance will save you, and empathy is a gift. So that's it for the episode. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed and joined and just wants to listen to me rant. I really appreciate you, and I'm glad that I'm helping people, and I hope that I continue to do so in the future. So peace and love. Thank you. Love you. See you in the next one. Bye.